Hello YouTube. I thought I'd talk to you about a little bit something different today. I know there's a lot going on and it seems like everybody's pretty stressed out. So this morning, actually yesterday afternoon, I just took a walk through the yard and looked at some of the things around. So what I thought I'd do is give you a little natural history talk about some of the plants that we have that are of kind of unique sort of things that are in the yard, and maybe you'll enjoy it, and then we'll expand this and do some other things around the farm and such as time goes on. But it's just a little fun, so I hope you enjoy it. The first plant we've got here is one that really caused me to start looking at this, and this is one called Euonymus, or Hearts of Buston with Love is another name for it, or strawberry bush. And it's got opposite leaves. It's got this strange little flower on it. The flower bloomed a little bit earlier, but now these are the seed pods that are developing. And it's a real neat thing. It's all found throughout the woods, and in the wintertime you'll see it has a predominant green stem. But Amy Gilbert, or Amy Collier Gilbert, asked about this one about a few weeks ago, and she had it in flower, and we identified it, and this is what it was. So look for this one in your yards. It's all around the Carolinas. It's not an uncommon sort of thing, but really neat thing to do. A relation of it that's a cultivated variety is one called Burning Bush, so you can see that, and pretty neat. This is another fairly common one. This one's called Spotted Wintergreen, or Pipsissewa. It's got a little bell-shaped flower. It'll be flowering out probably in another week or two. But found throughout the woods. Here it is in leaf-covered area, which is pretty characteristic of it. It's medicinally used. It's used for urinary tract infections, treating cancer, all sorts of stuff, in the historic sort of references to it. But look for this one around. It's definitely out there. Growing on our compost pile is Muscadine, or grape, wild grape. It's called Vitis Rotundifolia, and if you can see, the leaf is a round leaf, therefore rotundifolia. And these are the flowers that are starting to develop. You can see this is a bigger picture of it. So it grows all over. This will climb up. A lot of times you'll see this in the tops of trees, and it didn't actually climb up there. It actually grew with the tree itself. So it doesn't climb quite like poison ivy does, and it doesn't have roots on the sides, but it does have tendrils that wrap around things. So look for Vitis rotundifolia or Muscadine. Here's a tree that's in our area. This one, it's fairly small in this spot, but it's a tree. It's Persimmon. These are the little flowers of the persimmon tree, but they can grow fairly tall, but they typically have pretty bare trunks all the way up to wherever they grow. But these are the flowers of them. You'll find them on the ground a lot this time of year. Persimmons are great for deer food, and also red and gray foxes eat them. We had a dog that was loose on the highway, and he had been doing nothing but living off persimmons, and you could tell it in his poop. But persimmons, nice little tree out there. Look for these too. Here's a common vine that's in our area, and as John Jant posted recently, a lot of people mistake this for poison ivy. This is Virginia creeper, and it's called Parthenocissus quinquefolia, and quin meaning 5, folia meaning leaflets. So here's 5 leaflets on this vine, and this vine is real common. It grows all over the Carolinas, Virginia, a good bit of the southeast. But Parthenocissus quinquefolia, Virginia creeper. It's mistaken for this vine, and this one is poison ivy. Poison ivy has leaves of 3. Let it be. This is it growing on the side of the tree, and then the vine growing up the back side of the tree. A lot of times you'll see this, and it'll have tiny little roots coming out of the stem of the vine, and the tiny little roots are called adventitious roots, but these will allow it to grow straight up the side of a tree. But poison ivy, very, very different from Virginia creeper, and you can see this in these two. A lot of times when we identify plants, we'll do it by the leaf arrangement. And here the leaves are opposite. You can either have what we call opposite across from each other on the stem, or alternate leaf arrangement on the stem. You can also have what's called simple and compound. This is actually one leaf of an ash tree. Ashes are opposite, but this is one leaf. All of these are tiny leaflets, as opposed to this, which is elm. And on this, what happens is all of these are individual leaves. So it's a little bit different from the ash. Also, elms, you'll notice these are alternate. So one and then a space, and then another one, and then a space, and another one. So opposite and alternate. When you think about opposites, there are several opposite trees that we have in our areas. We look at it and we remember the phrase mad. Maples, ashes, and dogwoods are the opposite trees in our area. So that's the way we remember that. Here is a red maple, and this has the opposite leaves. You can see the red petiole on the plant also. A lot of people get this mixed up with sweet gum. Here's a sweet gum. Sweet gum is alternate, and you see the leaf is a little bit different shape. It's liquid ambar styraciflua, and it's a star-shaped leaf. Here's a sweet gum on the ground, so it's a little bit different. The other opposite one is the dogwood, and here's a dogwood. Most people are familiar with the white flowers in the springtime, but here's that definite opposite sort of branching. A couple of others in the yard. This one is one called sparkleberry. Sparkleberry is a shrub or a shrubby small tree that's located in our area. Here it is, and you can see the stem of it. That's pretty indicative. But these are found in typically sandy soil, but we have a lot of them in our rich soil also. The other one is winged sumac, and here you can see winged sumac. It's a fairly fast grower. A shrub. Here you can see the wings along that compound leaf, and this is a compound leaf on a alternate stem. If you see, the leaflets are actually opposite, but the leaves are alternate on the stem, so it's a little bit confusing sometimes. So hope you enjoyed a little bit something different. We're not doing disaster or garden today. I have already weeded the garden, but hope you enjoyed that. If you have questions about anything, send them to me and ask me. We'll see if we can figure out the answers to what's out there. And I might post some other little things like this on the net. It's fun to get out and see what's in your area and in your neighborhood. So y'all take care. Get out and enjoy yourselves. Don't sit there and be bound to the news and such. And that's one good thing. You can practice whatever social distancing you need to when you're outdoors. So take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.